Queenstown. It's been 7 years since the last project launched near Queenstown MRT after Stirling Residences in 2017. So today I'll be sharing Penrith, the new project at Queenstown, and it's just 4 minutes sheltered walk to the MRT. And this is also the last residential plot that is so near to the MRT. But with Penrith being surrounded by so many resale projects, right? The big question now is, does it really stand out? Or how do you compare with the resale nearby? So let's take a look. So Penrith is a 99 years leasehold project, TOP in April 2029, and located along Margaret Drive, District 3, right in Queenstown. The development has 2 blocks, 40 stories, total 462 units. The land size is about 102 square feet. Car park has a basement car park and 2 levels of multi-story car park. Penrith, do note that because of the basement car park, right, Penrith is also a building that is elevated, so it starts with level 5. Then there's also a childcare center, which is about 500 square meter, and which is very great for young families or couples starting out. And it's developed by Hong Leong and Guacoland, both with very strong track record. And their recent launch, Springleaf Residence, already sold close to 92%. And with them, they are also bringing the loyalty program to Penrith. So priority booking for the ex or existing owners. If you want to check you're eligible or not, just contact me directly, and here is my contact method. Do scan this QR code so you are updated of all the property updates, or you can contact me directly at 8484-1451. For Penrith unit mix, right, there is no one bedder, so it's purely 2 to 4 bedders, quite evenly spread out, so making it more towards families and HDB upgraders, especially Queenstown area surrounded the HDB, Dawson, Strathmore. These are almost the buyers that will be your future buyers as well, and they are all hitting the 1 million HDB mark. So this will give them the purchasing power as well. So this is the Penrith that's located. So these are the resale condo that are nearby. So later I will touch more about what are the resale, how to do the comparison. And Penrith is very located, very close to all the key amenities, your hawker center, your anchor point and all that. With buyers looking here, you have to be concerned about the resale nearby, such as Stirling, Peak, Commonwealth Tower, which later I will touch on. So looking at these future land plots, right, Penrith is here. So it is actually the nearest to the Queenstown MRT and also the most obstructed views. Okay, you see these are the subjected detail planning, or are much further away from the Queenstown MRT. So Penrith is located here. It is the closest. And then Penrith has also the most unblocked views among the other projects, such as your resale condo, Queen's Peak, Stirling Residences as well. And it's also overlooking the GCB area. So these are the unobstructed north facing of the Penrith. So Penrith, this is the site plan. Looking at the site plan, it comes with the full facilities, your tennis court, and it's a north-south facing. Okay, so the north facing will be the one facing the unobstructed landed GCB views. So today, before I touch on the floor plan analysis, right, I will be sharing on how to identify the profitability of a development. So using these 4 criteria checklist, this checklist can also be used for other projects such as the upcoming launches, Sky at Holland, Zion Grand, The Sand, and etc. So use this to help you have a clearer clarity, or check this so that when you are choosing project, you can know that whether you should go ahead or not. And it's not necessary that you have to fulfill these 4 criteria, but at least 2 out of the 4, it is still decent. Then if it's 1 out of 4, right, you might want to reconsider your choice. So I will touch on the comparing between the visibility and land size. So what does it mean by visibility and land size? Okay, as Penrith is not a very big land size, just now I mentioned it's 102 square feet, so it's still not considered very big. But why am I linking to this? Okay, because having a project that have both visibility and big land size can really affect the profitability of the project very much. So such as here, I am comparing Kentridge Hill Residences highest level at level 5 and comparing it with Whistler Grand highest at level 20. So looking at the map, Kentridge is located here. It is located inside the deep inside the landed enclave. And the landed enclave here, right, are all about 3-story high. So mostly you are driving into this road, then you are able to see Kentridge, which also means if you are staying near here, then you will be aware about Kentridge Hill Residences, or else the visibility is very minimal. Whereas Whistler Grand, it is located just here along the AYE facing. When you are driving, you can definitely see the building. You can also see Park Rivera and Park Clementi. So the visibility is something that will stand out and people will pay attention to know that, oh, this condo, I want to check out what name is it. Okay, then we compare the land size. So, general rule of thumb, they will say that the bigger the land size, the more profit it is, right? So, comparing the size of Kentridge Hill, it is 314 square feet. And this Kentridge Hill, it also consists of strata landed. Then we compare to Whistler Grand, the land size is at 210 square feet. So, comparing the size, Whistler Grand is definitely smaller. But then we see the maximum profitability for Kentridge is 610,000, whereas Whistler Grand has up to 831,000. So comparing land size, Whistler Grand is smaller, but the profit is higher due to the visibility. So just now I said when you are driving through the AYE, you can definitely notice the Whistler Grand. So this can form like a free marketing for people, right? So pass by daily, they will notice and want to know what this condo is. Visibility can also be something like a very good building architect, builder that designed the building very well. So people drive past will definitely pay attention to. So the important thing is the visibility. Then we bring it back to Penrith to compare the surrounding resale condo versus Penrith. So we have a Commonwealth Tower and Queen's Peak. They are just beside the Queenstown MRT, highest level 43 and 44. Then Stirling Residences, highest at level 40. And Margaret View also highest level 40. So among these, right, Stirling Residence is the most visible among these two because it is along the older HDB and landed area. So when you drive past Stirling Road, right, you will definitely notice Stirling first. And of course, after that will be your Commonwealth Tower and Queen's Peak because it's just beside the MRT. But the entrance is not as visible as Stirling. But it's still good enough. But definitely Margaret View will be deeper inside. It's not so visible. And also, it has a smaller land size. So just now I mentioned Commonwealth Tower, the visibility is still good, right? The land size still okay, 130,000 and 113,000. Their profit is also up to maximum 1 million. Then Stirling being the newest also and the most visible with land size the biggest among all, which profit is 1.19 million. Margaret View is still okay with the lesser visibility and smaller land size 51,000. The highest profit is half of the three projects at 563,000. So for Penrith, still decent but not a full maximum visibility as compared to Stirling. But it is still decent as it is surrounded by HDB and landed area. But just that it's not at the main road. You might have to turn another road, then you can see the Penrith. So lastly, I mentioned the checklist is to go to the floor plan. So we will dive directly to the floor plan analysis, starting off with 2 bedrooms. So which have 614 square feet of 2-bed, 1-bath with a traditional layout. And because all rooms are tucked into one side. And then the other 2-bedroom will be 678 square feet. This will be a 2-bed, 2-bath, a dumbbell layout. Okay, both are considering a decent layout. So the price matrix is just based on estimated launch price. Definitely it's not finalized yet. So with these 2-bed 1 bath and 2-bed 2 bath, the price gap is about 160,000 if we use based on this. So if your budget allows, do consider pushing up to 2-bed 2 bath. So we will compare it with the resale, the newest as well, which is Stirling Residences, which has the highest profitability surrounding here too. So we need to use this to determine what is a safe entry price. Comparing the 635 square feet 2-bed 1 bath of Stirling Residence, the highest transacted was at 1.58 million. So because Penrith is a harmonized project and Stirling is not, so we will first take the size of Stirling to -7% to make it harmonized. So the square feet will be 591 square feet. Then we divide the highest transacted amount of 1.58 million. This comes out to be about 2,673 per square foot. So now why I mentioned a new to resale, there is a 10% gap. So let me show you this, because during pre-COVID time, new launch versus the resale, right? This is at Bangkok and Sengkang Grand. We are comparing these both. Pre-COVID, the new launch gap is about 30% higher. So this is actually the normal resale and new launch gap. So back to after the during COVID situation, the gap actually narrowed down. So this is actually we are comparing Clavon versus Clement at Canopy. Okay, the new launch for Clavon that time was 1,646 per square foot, and resale Clement Canopy is at 1,507 per square foot, which comes up to be the gap has been narrowed to even lesser than 10%. It's at 9.2%, and Clavon profits are very, very good. So that is why I use the 10% gap to count for new to resale. So back to this Stirling Residence, right? For let's say 2,673 per square foot after the harmonized per square foot, I add in the 10% gap because new to resale, so it will be 2,940 per square foot. But then with this 2,940 per square foot, is it determined that this is a safe entry for Penrith? Okay. I cannot guarantee, because looking at the floor plan itself for comparing Penrith and Stirling, the floor plan is actually quite similar. So when it comes to resale, for buyers to pay 2,940 per square foot, this will be at a very high price. So we will focus on going back to the resale time, which is focusing on the transacted per square foot of 2,488. Because my Penrith price is based on estimated pricing, so it's not finalized. So anything at 2,488 per square foot is definitely very safe entry price. So because you are entering at a resale price, then we will be adding the 10% gap to it to make it the resale and new launch gap, right? So it comes out to be at 2,736 per square foot. So it is still very safe if you are entering at this per square foot range. So this safety margin, I will suggest anything between 2,488 to about 2,736 to 2,750. So 2-bed 2 bath. Now we will be comparing the Stirling 678 square feet 2-bed 2 bath versus ours Penrith. Again, we will harmonize -7%, which comes up to be 631 square feet. Highest transacted at 1.81 million. After harmonized square feet, the per square foot will be 2,881. So again, I don't think it is safe to enter with that 2,881 to plus 10% at 3,169 per square foot. It is quite a high per square foot price. So we will use back the original transacted 2,681 per square foot here, and adding the 10% gap to be 2,949. So anything between 2681 to 2,949 is considered a safe entry price. Anything higher you might need to consider. Now the 3-bedroom. So 3-bedroom, we have the compact and the 3-bedroom premium. So this 3-bedroom compact, you have two layout types, one 786 square feet and another 850 square feet. And I really love this 3-bedroom compact, especially this 786 square feet, because a smaller square feet, it can actually form a very sweet spot for first-time buyer or startup family or even HDB upgraders, because it has a very decent traditional 3-bedroom and all rooms can definitely fit at least a queen size bed. And it also has an enclosable kitchen. With that, the kitchen, the toilet, the bathrooms all have windows. So this sweet spot of, if let's say it's coming out at 2,500 per square foot, it is only at 1.96 million, which if you're looking at 2-bed, 2-bath, and if your budget allows, I will strongly encourage you to focus and take this layout 786 square feet, because the price point is very near and you can definitely get another room. And this 786 square feet is the Stirling Residences 2+ study layout. And for Stirling Residences 2+ study layout, it is also a dumbbell layout. Then zooming into the other layouts in Queen's Peak, right? The bedrooms are not all that can fit queen size bed. So this layout will definitely stands out among the Queenstown. Okay, then the 850 square feet. So now you will have a slightly bigger kitchen and with the glass window here, so it allows natural lighting to shine in. So this is the difference, and the difference for your walk-in space. So now we will be also comparing it with Stirling Residence. Same thing using the harmonized calculation, right? For Stirling Residences, we will be using 883 square feet. So after we harmonize it, it will be 821 square feet. With that, the highest transacted for here is at 2.2 million. Which means we will also be using the same thing to calculate based on the safe entry price of what is already transacted of 2,492 per square foot. Okay, then we add another 10% gap, which is 2,741. So anything between 2,004 to 2,750 can be a safe entry price. Okay, anything above this 2,900 per square foot, you might want to consider. Then we will go to 3-bedroom premium. So this 3-bedroom premium, we have two layouts, 936 square feet and 1,066 square feet. So now it comes with a storeroom, a WC, and yard. So the difference between this 936 square feet and the 1,066 square feet is this 1,066 has a wider living area, and then the master bedroom has a walk-in wardrobe. So using the same comparison, for 936 square feet, the safe entry price will be, because the highest transacted is at 2.5 million, but I will be using 2,500 as the safe entry per square foot price. And then add another 10%, it will be 2,750 per square foot. Okay, so this one we will compare with the Stirling Residence 980 square feet. After the minus 7% harmonized, it will be 911. So you can see the side by side, right? Actually, the layout is very similar. So we are using the same entry price to use to see whether how to determine Penrith is a safe entry, which is we will be using, although the transacted highest at 2.5, we will be using 2,500 per square foot as the first safe entry price. Adding the plus 10%, it will be 2,750. So all the way until here will be a safe entry price. Then the bigger 1,066 square feet of Penrith, we compare with the Stirling Residences 1055 square feet. So you see, after minusing the harmonized, it will be 981 square feet. But zooming into the bedroom type, right? This Stirling Residence has actually a bigger balcony compared to Penrith. And this balcony is also linked to the bedroom too. So some resale owners mentioned that they don't like this kind of linking balcony to the living area because sometimes if you really want to you cannot open your window, you can just only open up the balcony, right? Same thing, we have to harmonize it to be 981 square feet. So the safety price, the highest transacted for this Stirling Residence is 2.71 million. So we will be using this transacted price of per square foot 2,577. Anything, then we will add the 10%. So anything from 2,577 per square foot to 2,834 per square foot, we are seeing it as a safe entry price. Now, 4-bedroom. 4-bedroom, there are 2 layouts also. One is 1173 square feet, and this is a much narrow living space compared to the bigger 1281 square feet, which has a landscape wide frontage living. And then this 1281 square feet, right? It comes with additional bathroom. So this bathroom's free here. And between this 1173 square feet and 1281 square feet, definitely in resale market, the number one choice, it will always be the landscape wide frontage because it is the most attractive among all resale market. And usually for this kind of wide frontage living room compared to the about narrow living, right? It can be normally difference price can be up to 500,000. But in Penrith, if you see, we based on the 2,500 per square foot, the range is only up to about 300,000 difference. So if you are looking at 4-bedroom, because there is only one stack of 38 units, so it's very limited if you are comparing in Penrith and also in Queenstown area. The supply are very limited. So when supply are very limited, definitely if you can choose this 1281 square feet. It has really everything you need. So here is the end of the video. The preview date will be on the 3rd October to 14 October. I actually rushed this video out because we have the back-to-back Sky at Holland, Penrith, and then Zion Grand. Okay, and then the booking date will be 18 October. So remember, do use my 4 criteria checklist to spot the profitable developments if you are considering other projects also, such as the Zion Grand or your Sky at Holland and any upcoming projects. So if you need help to zoom in to the choices, do reach out to me via my contact below. And of course, if you found this video helpful, do help me to support and like and subscribe to my channel, or you can share to your friends who are interested in this area too. Thank you and see you. Bye bye.